So I'm going to start this video off with a story and a bit of a warning. About 2 years ago, I was wearing these shades right here, and I absolutely love them. Maui Jims, they were expensive. For a good 6 months, I got a lot of wear out of these, was defaulting to them, and then I went to a hardware store. I was doing some work around the house, put the shades just like this as I was in the store, and I'm picking up things, moving around some sheet metal, if I believe. I go to put back on my shades and I'm driving and I'm like, what is that in my field of vision? There was just a mark up here, and I take it off and I just about lost it when I realized I had scratched the lenses.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Nothing upsets you more than when one of your favorite items that you don't have a backup of and you realize you did something very stupid. Because I broke one of the first rules of looking great in sunglasses. That rule is to take care of your shades. Take care of your sunglasses, because I did not put them in their case. They give you these cases for a reason. Take care of your shades. And by the way, if you've got a great story about how you destroyed your sunglasses or you lost them at the lake, I would love to hear them down below. The next tip for looking great in a pair of shades: only buy a pair. Only wear shades that you absolutely love, because the confidence is going to show right through. When I put these shades on, and I bought these back in 2005, I just loved the look of them.
He's beginning to believe.
And FYI, these are very functional shades. When I'm going out for a run, if I'm going to be really active, these are the ones I default to. Incredibly light. They stay exactly where I want them to stay, even if I'm sweating up a storm. Point being is, if you like the shades, then buy them. And that is the next point. Don't be afraid to spend good money and get the shades that you actually want. So many people settle. They say, you know, I'm a cheap shade guy. I'm going to go out there and spend 10, 20 bucks. Here's the thing. When you spend more and you buy from a quality manufacturer, you actually get better lenses. You oftentimes get better return policies. Now, I mentioned I've had these shades since 2005, but what I didn't mention is a few years back, I dropped them when I was mowing the lawn and I stepped on them. Okay, I thought I was SOL, but here's the thing, is that this was a quality manufacturer. I sent them, they actually had a rebuild program. Yes, I did have to pay about half the cost of the sunglasses when they were new, but here's the thing, it was still saving me money, and I just loved them. I couldn't have actually replaced them because they don't make this particular model anymore, but they were actually able to rebuild them, and I got another warranty with it. So things like that, warranties, actually having where you can send the glasses back to be rebuilt. If you scratch them, I could actually, yes, get the lenses replaced. That's a lot better, and in my opinion, a better deal than buying cheap, unless you know that you're going to, you want some throwaway glasses. In that case, yes, go ahead and buy cheap. Now, gents, sunglasses are cool and all, but an even better summer accessory, one that nobody sees coming: fragrance. Also called cologne, parfum, eau de toilette, whatever you want to say, gents. The thing is, smell great and the ladies are going to notice. Oh, so you don't care what the ladies think. You're a man going his own way. Then wear it for yourself. Seriously, gents, there's tons of research out there that shows the way that you smell can have an effect on your mood, on your state of mind, basically how you feel about yourself. Now, most fragrances out there focus in on sex appeal.
Oh my.
Or having some hipster looking dude out in the desert digging holes. But what if there's a fragrance company out there that focused in on the science of scent, helping you to condition yourself based off of what you smell to become a better man? Well, gents, you don't have to imagine it. That's what I'm building over at Mission Fragrances. This is going to be a set of 3 fragrances that stands for the core values of honor, courage, and commitment. And yes, I did steal that from my time in the Marine Corps. The point is, gents, I wanted to create a set of fragrances that help you become the man you know yourself to be more committed, to losing that weight, getting in the best shape of your life, to live a life of honor. The gift a man gives himself when he knows who he is and he knows what he stands for. To actually have the courage to stand up to your boss, or to be able to stand in front of your boss's boss and give that presentation and overcome anxiety. Gents, we've got the fragrances picked out and I am launching this fall. What I'm asking here is for you to join my early bird list. I'm going to link to it down in the description. No obligation here. I simply just want you on this list to let you know when we launch. And I'm excited about this because I think that I can transform the fragrance industry. Because to be honest, I didn't give a crap about fragrances a few years ago. And then I started smelling them and realizing how this makes me feel. When I see the stats that 80% of US men don't wear fragrance on a regular basis. And most men, when they wear fragrance, they don't associate it with feeling better. And there are so many guys out there I know that want to achieve their dreams. They want to be more. And if you're one of these guys that you want to get a 1%, 5% edge on your competition, whether it be a sporting event, whether it just simply be at work, and understand the power of notes, the power of fragrance, and how it can help you achieve your goals, guys, this is the project that you need to check out. Again, I'm linking to it down in the description. It's my early bird list. Simply give me your email address. I'm not going to spam you. I'm just going to let you know as we get closer to the launch date. And the guys on this early bird list are going to get the best deal that I'm going to be putting out there. So again, guys, the link is in the description. Go check out the project over at Mission Fragrances. Now, what about the different types of lenses out there? So you're going to see a wide variety. You're going to see mirrored sunglasses. And this is basically where they're reflecting light back. You can actually see yourself in them. Makes sense, right? You're also going to see polarized sunglasses. Polarized sunglasses, what they do is they block certain types of light and they help to reduce glare. So that can be great if you're out driving, if you're going to be out on the lake, you want to get polarized sunglasses so that you can actually be able to spot things. Now in prescription glasses, you're going to see photochromic glasses. And if you're not familiar, this is actually when you walk outside, all of a sudden they turn into shades, they get darker. I think it's a very cool function. I had these when I was younger, 13 to 15, I actually wore glasses. And this was just really cool to be able to walk outside and all of a sudden you had shades. You're also going to see gradient glasses, and gradient glasses usually at one point, usually the top, they're going to be a bit darker. As they go farther down, they get lighter. Now, when it comes to lens type that's right for you, it really depends on your needs. Do you want to go with something that's a little bit under the radar, a little bit understated? Go with a gradient. It's pretty common out there. I think it looks good on most people. But if you want to be a little bit more, not necessarily obnoxious, but definitely a little bit louder, a little bit, hey, grabbing attention, go for the mirrored look. A lot of guys like this, but you gotta have confidence to be able to pull this off. Now, what about polarized sunglasses? Do you need to get that? I would say unless you're going to be out on the lake, you're going to be snowmobiling, and you're going to be having that light reflect off the snow, I don't think you have to have it. But if you really want it, and just make sure that if you pay for it, that you actually get it. And you want to spend good money and go to a reputable manufacturer, because there are many people, cheaper sunglasses that are saying it's polarized, but it's not. And speaking of lenses, let's talk about lens shape. So right here on the aviator style, we see this classic teardrop. You're also going to see aviators that are squared up. Same thing with Wayfarers. Right here, we've got it more circular. You're also going to see Wayfarers that are more squared up. Point being, if you've already got a square face, wearing square sunglasses isn't really going to do you much. It's just going to make your face look even more square. If you have a heart-shaped face or a round face, you want to be careful of sunglasses that are actually just going to bring more roundness to them. Just simply look at yourself in the mirror. If you've got the whole widow's peak going on here, most likely you're going to have a bit of a heart. Look at your cheeks. If you've got big, soft cheeks, most likely you're going to have a round face. If you've got a large, square jaw, you're going to have more of an oblong or more of a square face. Point being is you want a lens shape that's going to look good on you by balancing out your face. So right over here, we've got this square end here. We've got relatively square point right there. These square lenses are going to look better on a man with a rounder face. But you want to make sure that in general, you go with something that complements the overall shape of your face. Now, there's a variety of styles out there that serve different purposes, but for this video, I'm going to go back to the classics. And the classics are right here, the Wayfarer. This has been around for over 50 years. We'll look at the Blues Brothers, the Risky Business. They made these sunglasses popular. Bob Dylan, when you look at a rock star, if you want to be able to grab a bit of attention without being like over the top, this is what a Hollywood movie star would wear. And you need to have a little bit more confidence. Why? When you look at a pair of Wayfarers, it's going to be the heaviness of the frame. And it's something that it will grab more attention. Now, even more popular than the Wayfarers, and for good reason, we have the classic aviators. So classic aviators, and the lens shape is going to change up. You're going to have square, you're going to have rounded, you're going to have teardrop. Point being is the aviators do a great job of fitting in here right basically where your eye sockets are. And these were developed to actually protect the eyes of aviators at high altitudes and to be able to fill up that entire area. What it did though is create a classic style, a classic look that looks good pretty much on any man. Now, if you can't decide between the two, check out Wayfarers. And so many guys look past this. They feel, I'm not feeling it. A little bit too Malcolm X. Hey, Malcolm X rocked them and you can too. When I look at this style, I just absolutely love. The Clubmaster style has been around for a long time and it's going to continue to be. Now, the next key to looking great in sunglasses is to make sure you get the right size. Notice these Club Masters right here, they look different than the pair I just had on. And that's because they're a few millimeters basically smaller right here. The lenses are shaped slightly different. And again, this is something you want to look at yourself in the mirror. And if you notice that the outside basically part that it's opening up when you put them on, if you're getting a bit of pressure right here on the sides of the head, they're too small. And sunglasses come in a wide variety of widths. For me, it's about, okay, is this straight right here? And that to me is a great determinant of whether or not it's the right size. Next up, let's talk about frames. So you're gonna see frames in gold, silver, you're gonna see them made from metal, you're gonna see them made from acetate, which is basically a hard, tough plastic. You're also gonna see tortoise. Now, tortoise isn't used, true tortoise hasn't been used for a long time, and thank goodness, but you're still gonna see the style lives on. I absolutely love tortoise and acetate. I think it's understated. It just looks classic. And it's one of those patterns that you can bring in to change things up. When it comes to gold or silver, really look at what are you already wearing. If you're wearing silver rings, then silver is what you're going to naturally gravitate towards. I do like matching metals when you're just getting started. That being said, if you really like the look of gold, aviators, and you wear silver jewelry, then go ahead and rock that gold. Nothing wrong with mixing it up. Another common color you're going to see out there is black, especially in acetate Wayfarers. This is the classic look for this sunglasses, but again, you'll see variations. This one right here has a two-tone. So we've got basically a brown right here. It's made to look like wood. It's not. You've got this black on top. Would I recommend this for your first pair of sunglasses? Probably not. But if you already own two pair of Wayfarers and you just love this style of sunglasses, that's the great thing is you don't have to change up the styles. If you already have one that you like, you can just go with different variations, different colors. The next tip to looking great in sunglasses is to keep those lenses clean. You know what I'm talking about. You see that guy, he's got oil all over the place. He's got smudge marks. You want to take them off his head and clean them for him. And when you tell him this, what do? They start cleaning it with their shirt. Guys, don't use your shirt to clean your sunglasses. Why? Well, first up, it's going to damage the lens. You may not see it, but it is putting micro scratches in there. So even if it feels like a soft shirt, instead, go grab one of those micro cloths. Walk into a jewelry store, a high-end one, and simply, hey, do you have any cleaning micro cloths? A lot of times they give them away for free. I know that most manufacturers worth their salt will send you at least one. They are made with a very tight, light weave that is made specifically not to damage the lenses. The next tip to looking great in shades is to actually have them when you need them. So I keep shades in my truck and in my wife's van. The ones in my wife's van I actually use quite a bit because we travel around as a family and I've got them right there in the glove box. I keep them in a protective case. Point being is the ones that are in my truck, I just know are always there. And those are the ones when I'm driving around I use, but I've got that backup pair. It's not so much a backup pair. It just simply makes it easy. I know that when we're out driving. That's when shades for me are most important. They cut through the glare. If you're a commuter, if you're somebody that, hey, you need a pair for your office, you need a pair for work, and you also want to have a pair for home, I think there is nothing wrong. This is a tool, in my opinion. So spend a bit more, have two pairs, maybe even three pairs strategically placed so when you need them, they're right there, easy to grab, and maybe even more importantly, whenever you're done using them, you can put them right back and you don't have to worry about, putting them right there and just end up getting them scratched like I did. The next secret to looking great in sunglasses is to wear them with the right summer accessories. Seriously, sunglasses can't do everything. You need to match them with the right summer accessories. They're going to make you look amazing. What are those? Find out, gents, in this video right here where I list out summer accessories that every man needs to own.